All right, welcome to part 2 of Unit 6, Lesson 2, Day 2. In this example, we're going to look for values of the 6 trigonometric functions at pi over 3 radians or 60 degrees. Again, the coordinates on the unit circle for pi over 3 or 60 degrees is x is 1/2. That's our cosine value. Sine is square root 3 over 2. Tangent is y divided by x, sine divided by cosine. Square root 3 divided by 2 is the same thing as square root 3 over 2 times the reciprocal of 1/2 or 2 over 1. So I'm taking my fraction and using the definition of division of fractions to multiply. Here we have a common factor of 2 that cancels out. And our final answer is the square root of 3. Secant of pi over 3 is 1 over x, or 1 over cosine. Again, using the definition of division by a fraction, we multiply by its reciprocal. We get 2. Cosecant of pi over 3 is 1 over y, or 1 over sine, which is 1 divided by square root 3 over 2. Changing that to multiplication, that's 1 times 2 over the square root of 3. And then again, we have a radical in the denominator. We want to get rid of that or rationalize the denominator. We end up with 2 square root 3 over 3. Last function, cotangent. Which is y over x, in this case 1/2 over square root 3 over 2. Again, here we have a common factor of 2 that cancels. And we have to rationalize our denominator. So there are the values of the 6 trigonometric functions. At pi over 3. final angle we're going to look at is pi over 6 radians, or 30 degrees. It is extremely similar to 60 degrees, or pi over 3. The only difference is that sine and cosine are interchanged. So sine is 1/2, cosine is square root 3 over 2. For tangent, we take sine divided by cosine. Again, using the definition of division of fractions, we change dividing by square root 3 over 2 to multiplying by 2 over the square root of 3. And we rationalize the denominator by multiplying numerator and denominator by the square root of 3. And it helps if we can read that bottom number. Secant is 1 over cosine, 1 over x. So again, rewriting division as multiplication by the reciprocal, we get 2 over the square root of 3. Rationalizing our denominator, we get 2 times the square root of 3 all over 3. For cosecant, 1 over 1/2, 1 over our y value, or our sine value. 1 times 2 over 1, which is 2. And finally, cotangent. That would be our cosine value divided by our sine value, x divided by y. Change that to multiplying by the reciprocal. Common factor of 2 cancels, and we end up with the square root of 3. Notice the similarities between these values and the previous values that we found. They're all interchanged. So the unit circle is great for certain values. However, sometimes we need to use a calculator to get an approximation. And one of the problems is most scientific calculators, including the Texas Instruments graphing calculator, only have the function sine, cosine, and tangent. So in order to calculate secant, cosecant, and cotangent, you need to understand the relationship between all of the trigonometric functions. Secant is 1 over cosine, cosecant is 1 over sine, and cotangent is 1 over tangent. And we will use those facts to estimate other values other than 0, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. The other thing to be careful of is the mode that your calculator is in. We need to make sure that our calculator is in the correct mode for the way the angle is given. If our angles are given as in degrees, we need to be in degree mode. If they're given in radians, we need to be in radian mode. Let's take a look. So we're going to use a calculator to find the approximate values of cosine 48 degrees, cosine 48 degrees. It is in degree mode because our angle is in degrees. So on our calculator, we press the mode button, that beautiful red button that just lit up on the screen. And if you go down to where it says radian, arrow over to degree and press enter. Then second mode brings us back and we can do cosine of 48 degrees. .6691306.06064, and we're going to round to 2 decimal places. The next one we have is cosecant, 21 degrees. Cosecant is 1 over sine, so I'm going to take 1 divided by sine of 21 degrees. And there we get 2.78 rounded to 2 decimal places. Our last angle here is in radian measure, pi, tangent of pi divided by 12. So now I need to go to my mode, switch over to radians. So arrow down, highlight radian, press enter. And I want to find the tangent of pi. Pi is second, and the exponent key divided by 12. And this is 0.2679. We'll round that to 0.27. So your assignment is a worksheet. It is in Schoology. It is also available in a paper form. If you would like to work on it that way and enter your answers through Schoology, that is fine. Just make sure to submit your work through Schoology. Good luck!